One of our viewers in Houston is interested to know, is there a way to be able to distinguish between male lion and female lion vocalizations? Because she's heard both but is battling to differentiate. And Julia, it's incredibly difficult. I have heard both roaring countless times, yet I'm never in a situation where I'm confident to be able to distinguish between male and female. It'll be interesting to ask Brent. He may feel differently, but I don't think there's any easy way of telling the difference between the audio. But my hearing's not as good as Brent and the rest of the guides. I'm going deaf already. So maybe I'm the wrong person to be asking, but I certainly haven't noticed any way of being able to safely distinguish between the two. Now, a lot of you are interested in the different lions that we see in this area, and our football experts is asking if there's any updates on the Styx males. As Brent told you, the one young male did get into a bit of an altercation and isn't looking too clever, but I'm not too sure where they are. They were last seen chasing the Salala Breakaway Pride off a kill that they made, a fully grown giraffe, to the west of Arathusa. And since then, I'm not sure where they've gone. But while everyone's interested on the updates online and what's happening, the Birmingham boys were also seen this morning, not far from Arathusa or Djuma, just kind of north of us in this little funny section of the reserve. And they were seen chasing some young male lions, 3 young males and a lioness. So they're also in action doing them in the general area. And I'm guessing the next few days we're going to get lucky with the sighting of the Birmingham boys. They are buffalo hunting machines. And in November they killed 3 buffalo within 3 days. And it's not only the lions that a lot of the viewers are interested in, but also some updates on the leopards. And the latest one that we've received is asking about Kunyuma and quarantine. 2 male leopards approaching the kind of 3 years mark in terms of age. And we got to see both of them quite a lot in the earlier parts of this broadcast, from November all the way up until about May, more April than May. But since then they've moved off and they've been spending a lot more time to the east of us on a property called Chitwa Chitwa. But we have had tracks of what looks to be possibly young males, and we simply may have just not been able to track them down when they have come back to Djuma. But I think they're going to be avoiding this area. Tingana, a large male leopard, is spending more time here. And he's been seen even further east of Djuma than where we can go. So they're avoiding the confrontation between their father and another dominant male. But we're going to send you back to Brent. It sounds like he's got to whatever he was racing off to. So enjoy, and I wonder what it is.
Welcome back, everyone. Really, really exciting. We are here with lions that I don't think we've ever seen before. There's been quite a lot of pandemonium that those Birmingham boys caused to the west. This, I think, is a segment of the Sparta Pride that were on a buffalo kill to the west of us, and they have been chased and harassed by the Birminghams this morning, and I think they have split. And it looks like we have a sub-adult male and some lionesses here. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'll try and get some photographs and send it off to the guys down south who might know these lions a lot better than us, but definitely far from home. So very, very interesting, and always great to see new lions. So you can see the one on the right is definitely a young male. You can see the beginnings of a mane, probably not too old yet, probably even, I'd say even probably still under 2 years old, but getting close. And they've had a really, really tough day. So from what the update I heard is that they killed 2 young buffalo in a property far to the west of us, and we've had those tracks of those Birmingham boys today crossing in that direction. And what happened is, I'm not sure whether those lions might have heard them kill the buffalo last night, and I'm not sure how many members of this pride were in that area. I will try to find out more information after drive, and then we can update you on the sunrise safari. But apparently some of them did take a bit of a beating from those Birmingham lions. And they are very far from home at the moment and trying to catch up on some rest. They've probably had a very, very tough day, probably very stressed not knowing where they are. And it seems to happen quite often. We've had 2 prides from the west who've been chased by males and have ended up almost in this exact position. Last time we didn't get to see them, it was the Shimongwe pride. This time we have got to see them. And it'll be fascinating to see where they move from here tomorrow, from the tracks, whether they start the long road south to the Sand River, or they hang around in this area. Obviously, there are lots of new smells and there are lots of other lion scent marks here. So obviously, they're not going to be feeling. Confirm those are the animals that the Birminghams chased this morning. Sorry, Liam, you're breaking quite badly. I didn't copy that. Sorry, reading you 0 out of 5. Is there any possibility that another station can try translate that for me? So I think Liam's right on the other side of the western section, so I'm getting very bad radio breakup. I will keep listening to see if we can get an update from him about who these lions are. So these lions, whoever they might be, are probably quite a long way from their traditional home range. You do sometimes get nomadic lion prides, but their success rate in raising cubs is far less than your sort of sedimentary prides. But Kirsty's asking, do you think if they are from the Sparta Pride or maybe the Chimungwe Pride, they'll be able to find their way home? I'm quite confident they will be. I think the biggest challenge for them is getting home without bumping into other lions. Lions take great offense to finding new lions in their areas, and it can be very, very dangerous, specifically for that young male there. But it'll be very interesting to see what happens and see which way these tracks go and which way these animals move. I mean, there is that slight possibility it could be a pride of lions that we don't know at all that have moved in from either the Manyeleti or the Kruger. There has been quite a few recorded cases of nomadic lion prides that move over vast home ranges, but again, they don't generally last too long and have have great trouble in raising cubs. Standing by. Copy. Thanks very much, Shawnee. Really appreciate it. Just to let you know, there are 3 stations here at the moment if anyone from the west is interested. So, guys, I was telling you a big fat lie earlier. It's not the lions that were chased by the Birminghams. It is the Chimungwe Pride. I just got an update that the Sparta animals were chased south, so they went back home. Now, the Chimungwe Pride's quite an interesting story. They've sort of been, I don't know the full story yet, but I will do some research on it this evening. They've been broken up and down, and there are only these 3 sub-adults left, and they are doing quite well considering. I think the Majinga lions killed quite a few of the lionesses in this coalition, in this pride, but I will try to find out as much as possible about the Chimungwe Pride. So this is a new pride. I have found their tracks in this very area, and they seem to be slinking on the edges of all the different lions' home ranges to try avoid getting into a bust-up with some of the resident prides in the north. But they have been moving fast distances from right near the southwestern fence line all the way right up to the northern corner. So they are surviving at the moment, but unfortunately for the Chimungwe Pride, the future does not look too great. So since this pride has been sort of decimated by the Majinga lion coalition, they have become a semi-nomadic pride. And Dennis from Massachusetts is wondering whether they would scent mark in this area to try to feel safe. I think it's highly unlikely. I think they would try to keep their presence in this area as limited as possible. And scent marking would be sort of a direct, not challenge, but leaving far too much evidence. Not evidence is the incorrect word, but I don't think they would feel safe enough is probably the truth. And they wouldn't want to attract any undue attention. And we saw the Nkahuma Pride, Small Sticks Pride, scent marks and then changed their direction completely a few days ago and headed towards where the sticks left. So I think they would be trying to avoid that. I'm quite sure the other lions, if they come within a day or two, will be able to smell that these lions have been here. But I definitely don't think that these lions would take the chance to scent mark. But then again, I could be proved completely wrong because we write the books and read them, and the animals can do whatever they want. So, as I said a little bit earlier, they all are, as far as I know, sub-adults. None of them have reached adulthood fully yet. And Purple Rain noticed that, so well done, Purple Rain. They are all sub-adults. And John Boy was just questioning whether they could be part of the Sparta Pride, but we've just managed to fix that sort of conundrum out. and they are the Shimungwe pride. So traditionally from far southwest of us, but they've been sort of in a bit of trouble with the Majingaland coalition recently. We've caused and killed quite a few of them. I will find out exactly, but this is definitely a new pride for me, and I think could be a new pride for a lot of you guys at home. So it is exciting. Unfortunately, I don't think their future is very bright. Very young animals in a very highly dense lion, or densely populated lion area. So it could be quite difficult for them. So we're going to try and move around now. We'll just wait for the other vehicles to move out of the area, and then we'll try and see if we can get a better look at some of them. So while we reposition to try and get a better view of the Shimungwe pride, what's left of them, we're going to cross back to Scotty, and he's going to give you a quick update and goodbye of what he's been up to. But really exciting new lines, and we'll see you just now.
Welcome back, everyone, and I'm going to keep this short because it's really exciting stuff over with Brent. I wonder which lion these could be, but thanks so much for following this afternoon's Sunset Safari. It's always good fun to have you with us, and I'm already looking forward to the sunrise session tomorrow. Back to Brent, and thanks to Andrew and Nikki and Tara for all the help that they've helped with this afternoon and getting this broadcast to you. We'll see you all on the next safari.
So, welcome back, everyone. We've managed to get next to this young Shimungwe female. I can't see how hungry they are. She looks like possibly to be a bit older than the other two. And now I think actually both of them, the back two, are young males. I will try to find out ages and all that type of stuff from the guys who have seen them more regularly. So what an exciting find towards the end of the Sunset Safari. A new pride of lions, ones I haven't seen. So I stand corrected. I think that is another lioness. I just thought I saw a tuft of mane, but I can see from here she's definitely not a little boy. So it looks like two girls and a boy. So Grace and Gilly are wondering, is this a good thing that this young male has come onto the reserve? Is it possible he could join up with Junior? I'm afraid not. I think there would be very little reason for Junior to try join up with a male this young. He's quite a lot younger than Junior. I don't think he's even reached 2 years old yet, but I will confirm that definitely after drive this evening, and I'll find out a little bit more history about the Shimungwe pride. But I don't think there'd be any reason or whatnot that Junior would. Far too young, and I think at the moment this pride's main purpose in life is survival. They are just trying to avoid running into every other lion. I'm not sure if they have a grand plan. I doubt so. I think at the moment they're just trying to get through every day to survive. So guys, isn't this fascinating? A new pride of lions. What an unexpected surprise to the end of the Sunset Safari. And shame they are in not the best state, and I will try to find out more information about them. But what a great safari it's been. Buffalo herds, birds, and now the Chimungwe pride. For those of you who are wondering, the Chimungwe means bateleur, so they're also named after a bird, this pride. Chimungwe is the Shangaan word for bateleur. So really, really interesting to find another pride of lions. But thanks very much for joining us on the Sunset Safari. We really loved having you with us. We appreciate the questions, and I'm sure there's going to be lots about the Chimungwe pride tomorrow, so I will try to do my homework tonight. So for the last few seconds of drive, thanks again for joining us. From the Wildebeest and myself, have a wonderful day or morning or evening wherever you are, and let's have a quick look at this wonderful little Chimungwe female.